That's like that Portnoy dude, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, say what you want about him. Dude's a genius. He started that business in 2003 from his van.
I don't like it.
I love it. I mean, I think that's the American dream.
To be in a van and then
start a business from the ground up, and now he said on the radio today, he's like, I have unlimited amounts of money.
Guess that's a good point.
By doing it your way.
You know what time it is?
Lunchtime, buddy.
That's right. John Bozeka.
Noah Hiles.
So, Super Bowl coming up this weekend. Super Bowl 54, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs versus the 49ers. And Noah, I know how much you love to lay money down on things that aren't the ponies. And those things include baseball games, basketball games, football games, anything in between. And most recently, prop bets.
Yeah, I haven't put in my official prop bets yet. I've jumped the gun the last 2 years where I put them in too early. I like to do a little bit of research on some of them, and I've kind of stepped away from the gimmick ones. Like, I'll always bet on the coin toss because that's just a fun way to get the juices flowing before the game, and the national anthem over/under. But mainly my prop bets for the Super Bowl now will be all game related. And I won't get into those because I don't like giving away my picks because I feel like I jinx myself every time I do it. But yes, I'm a man who loves to throw his hard-earned money on the line over things that he probably has no idea, I have no idea over or control over. And that's what this show's about. It's the Super Bowl 54 prop bet pick'em. We have 20 prop bets here, and we broke it up into 4 selections: pre-game, during the game, halftime, and post-game. And John and I are going to go through each one real quick. We'll give him a little bit of analysis here and there on certain picks. And we could track this. We could see how much money we won. I'll be able to add it up.
Do you want to actually put like $5 on this?
Well, no. Well, I mean, sure, we could do that. But I think hypothetically we put $100 on each bet. And then I'll, add up the money line totals at the end of the Super Bowl to see who made the most hypothetical money. And then, the winner who has the most hypothetical money will say lunch.
Fine.
All
it's
right?
lunchtime.
Yes.
So
I'm 1-0 in lunch bets against
right.
John so far.
What did you get me on? I can't remember.
No, it was the high school football.
Oh, that's right.
Spreads we would make.
I'm still salty about that.
Okay. Anyway, so let's get into it. We'll start off with the pregame props. So the first one on our list is, will Joe Montana toss the coin for the Super Bowl coin toss? And so for those who don't know how gambling works, anytime there's an underdog for a line, it'll have a plus in front of it. So yes is the underdog for this. So it's plus 200, which means if you bet $100, you win $200 profit in return along with your $100.
So you get $300.
Yes. So no is the favorite here. It says minus 300, which means you would have to bet $300 in order to win $100 profit in return.
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes that Joe Montana will flip the coin?
I'm going to say yes.
And I will agree with that. I think that I can't think of a better person to do this, considering that he's one of the game's most iconic players. It's the 100-year anniversary, and he's played for both of these franchises. So I think he's the perfect guy. So
yeah, I think it makes sense.
So we're going to keep with the coin toss now. This is always one of my favorite bets because it could go either way. The coin toss, both heads and tails, valued at minus 101. So you had to win.
Why isn't it just minus 50 both ways?
Well, it's always out of 100, first off. So,
all right, fine.
Yeah, so it'd be minus 100. So
see, I'm not a gambler like at all.
The reason they make it minus 101 is that you don't get a return on profit on either side because it's a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
So I looked up the history of the coin toss in the Super Bowl. The last decade, 5 heads, 5 tails.
I'll go with tails.
So overall, tails has a 28-25 lead, and it was tails last year's Super Bowl. I'm also going tails because, as my sources say, it never fails.
I've been told that on multiple occasions.
Yes, it has failed 25 times in the Super Bowl, but overall, I feel a tails dynasty coming on.
So I know that you were interested in this next one in the pregame.
Oh, buddy.
Because national anthem length, I know this is something that people debate yearly, and you have like statistics that are hard-driven facts on how long Shakira's national...
it's Demi Lovato.
That's right, Demi Lovato.
And
Shakira is at halftime.
Yes, so I have fond memories of betting on the national anthem over or under. Gladys Knight put on a show last year in the Super Bowl. She held those
very
notes.
happy.
Yes, you always bet the over on the national anthem. It's treasonous to do otherwise, in my opinion. I remember one year in college sitting at a pizza place waiting to pick up an order of pizza and wings and watching the national anthem there. And everyone was wondering what my problem was, why I had a stopwatch looking at a TV while they're asking me to pay for my food.
You're just that crazy person.
Yes, but I am. So Demi Lovato is sang 4 national anthems on major sporting event stages.
Okay.
Twice in a World Series, once in a regular season NFL game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks, and most recently, the Mayweather-McGregor fight in 2017. And all of them but one, she went over the allotted time. The line for this is 1 minute and 56 seconds. So she only went over once, and that was the most recent one, Mayweather-McGregor. Of all the other times she went under, we're looking at 1 minute 49 seconds, 1 minute 53 seconds for the World Series games, and $1.50, I believe, for the Dallas Cowboys Seattle Seahawks game. So, but what I like to see here is the progress that's being made. Demi Lovato's last national anthem she went over, and she performed at the Grammys, where she hit a lot of long notes. I understand that the national anthem is one of the hardest songs to sing. However, this is the world's biggest stage. Demi Lovato's a new human, and she's going to show off her new talents. I'm taking the over.
I will, I'll take the over.
All right, we're matching picks.
You know
But
what?
it's okay.
Actually, I want to be different.
Okay.
I'll take the under.
Okay, so John's taking the under, which is plus 155. That's the underdog. Everyone likes to hammer the over on the national anthem. And the final pregame prop is scoring drive versus national anthem. And we don't need to really get into this, but basically this is saying, will there be a scoring drive that takes less time than the length of the national anthem? I'm going against the tides here. I'm saying no. I'm saying plus 200. The 49ers run the ball a lot, and I think the 49ers defense is going to have a big game. So I'm going to say no.
So there won't be a drive.
Say she sings the national anthem in 2 minutes. Will there be a scoring drive less than 2 minutes in this game?
Yes.
Okay.
The Chiefs are a big play offense.
Yes, they are.
And I understand.
And we will reveal why I think what I think. We'll get into the football analysis on Friday. So during the game props. So these are more broadcast and other things related, not like play related. So the first prop is number of players to be carted off the field due to injury.
I have to go under on this simply for like moral purposes.
Correct.
Not
and as do I.
Not because of like purposes of what I think is going to happen. Just morally, I can't say like there's going to be more than
there have been some bad Super Bowl injuries, and you try to think, I mean, they say the pace of play is faster in the Super Bowl, but I also take the under, which is valued at minus 160. Now, another bet, this is a bet I have made and won in the past. It's player to leave the game due to concussion. And I'm saying yes. And I'm not rooting for a concussion, but I just think the reality, like I said, players are moving fast, and you look at the way the secondary, I think that's going to be mainly who dishes out concussions in a game like this with the speed coming over the middle. There's going to be big hits in the secondary.
I think
guys like Tyrann Mathieu are going to lay out some hits.
Yeah, I think a concussion will happen. It's almost likely to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, just because.
And it's a value at plus 120. This is an interesting one. Will a fan run on the field?
No.
And I tried to look. I don't believe that's ever happened in a Super Bowl.
No, it did one time.
Okay, it did? Okay.
There was like a streaker a few years back.
All right. So next we have NFL players to be shown in the stands during the broadcast. And this is even odds. It's minus 120 for the over and under.
Does this include current players?
This is current and former.
Okay.
In the stands. So
yeah, that'll be over.
I took the under here. I think 4. Just because you don't have a lot of players who have relative, like Joey Bosa will be shown. I was trying to think of other guys who have relationships to Jason Kelsey probably will be shown.
Well, keep in mind though, like Jerry Rice is going to be there.
That's true.
Joe Montana is going to be there. I would also bet that like Len Dawson is going to be there.
Ronnie Lott probably.
And anybody who was a part of either of those like great teams, they will be there.
Okay.
And they'll make a point of showing just about all of those guys.
All right. So another thing that might be, depending on who's running the camera, might be made to show is a Epstein didn't kill himself sign.
I hate that this is even a bet.
I actually like it. I hope this stays in the news cycle because I don't think he did. Anyway, that's another podcast. I think it will. I think this will show up. I don't know if it'll be intentional or not. Someone will lose their job over it. But I'm saying yes, plus 500. John's saying no. This is an interesting bet that comes up next. Will Colin Kaepernick's name be mentioned during the broadcast?
100,000% yes.
You have to. You have to. And it's clear that the league doesn't want it to be named, but the last time the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, he was their quarterback. You have to mention it. And this is, if you don't have any dog in the fight for the Super Bowl, the possibility of this happening is enough alone to watch it. Will Andy Reid's video of him doing the punt, pass, and kick contest as a child be shown? John, have you seen this video?
I haven't, nor do I really care to see it.
No, you do.
But I'm going to say that it's not shown.
John, you haven't seen this video. So it's him when he was 13. He was about 6'4", 240 pounds as a 13-year-old. While everyone
Maybe I
else,
have seen it.
It is ridiculously funny. They're all in LA Rams uniforms. It has to be shown. So I'm going to say yes at plus 250.
I'm going to say no just to be different.
Okay. So now we move on to halftime. How are we doing on time? What are we looking like?
We need to pick it up a bit.
Okay, I'm trying to speed it up. All right, halftime. These all deal with the halftime show prop bets, which is with J-Lo and Shakira. And the first one is, will either J-Lo or Shakira have a wardrobe malfunction? This obviously brings back my favorite Super Bowl memory in my lifetime.
The day Noah Hiles became a man.
I figured out some stuff and things about myself that day.
It was a special day in the Hiles household.
I gotta get a shower. No, so I'm gonna say no, and I don't think a wardrobe malfunction necessarily means nudity. I think like one of their heels could break, like on their high heels or something.
Well,
yeah, something like that. Like because there's a lot of costume changes.
See, but I think they've cleaned this up since that. Like after a
breast was exposed,
after the JT incident,
and I became a huge Justin Timberlake fan after that as well.
Not JT with Kenny, but
yes,
Justin Timberlake.
Yes. So I said no, which is minus 2,000.
I'm gonna say yes.
So plus 800. John, hey man, we can all dream.
Because I think there's going to be, as you said, like a heel or like an issue with that.
Like one of their weaves might fall out or something.
Something along those lines.
All right, so J-Lo and Shakira will kiss.
No,
I don't see that happening. Again, that would be something. Another 8-year-old boy would be having a moment there. Okay.
I'm sure there's
somewhere.
Anyway,
I think this one's a slam dunk. Will A-Rod be shown during the halftime show? And I
don't necessarily know at halftime. I think he'll be shown during the game.
I think he'll be shown at halftime while J-Lo's performing. That's her husband. Fiance.
I think he'll be shown before that point.
I think they'll show him, like they show him at the Grammys and stuff, always like doing his nerdy dance. A-Rod went from being the coolest guy in baseball to this big nerd now, and I love it.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes to that. And over-under on J-Lo wardrobe changes. I took the over at 2.5. You figure this is going to be a 30-minute performance.
I'll say that's a fair bet.
Yeah, and when you have 2+ people performing, because there's always other guests that will join in, I think that she'll have time to change the wardrobe 3 times. So we get into the post game now, and these are the real interesting ones. Who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first? Your options are teammates, which is plus 125, God, which is plus 200, coach, which is plus 800, and I really think it depends on who wins that award. Family plus 800, owner plus 1,400, and does not thank anyone plus 400. Well, Antonio Brown's not going to win that award, so we can take the last one out of the equation. But I think, like I said, this depends. I think if a Chiefs player wins, it would not be a bad bet for them to thank Andy Reid first, because he's a guy, like, that's one of the storylines coming into this is the pressure's on Andy Reid to win.
I am going to say that they thank God.
I said God as well. That's probably, but if I'm not going to bet on this because I don't use the site that offered these odds. But if I did use this site, I would put one on God and coach, because I believe a Chiefs player is, especially like maybe someone who's been around a little longer. I don't know who that would be, but there's a chance that Andy Reid could be getting the first thank you.
No, I have a question for you.
Yes.
You just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going to go?
I'm not going to Disney World. I'm saying no. This has been a trend that's kind of died over the past couple years. I think Papa John killed it. When Peyton Manning on Super Bowl 50 said he gave a shout out to Papa John.
The reckoning is coming.
And did you see the viral tweet that happened that night? It's a screenshot of Peyton Manning like looking at Papa John with a serious face after the Super Bowl, and he said, "I've done everything you asked, Papa. Can you please let my family go now?" And but yeah, Papa John Killed was a great tradition. I'm going to Disney World. I believe was started by Joe Montana, so maybe that gets brought back with Jimmy Guwap if they win the Super Bowl this year.
Guwap?
Yeah, Jimmy Guwapawo.
You disappoint me some days, Noah.
All right. I'm saying no. I'm going
to say yes. I think if either quarterback like wins and they have like a special moment, they're going to do it. Especially
Mahomes is going to Disney World.
Like Mahomes or
Mahomes is going to give a shout out to Hunt's Ketchup, and I'm going to break my television.
Why?
Because Hunt's Ketchup is trash.
Ketchup is ketchup.
No, it's not. Heinz Ketchup.
That's another discussion.
All right. Anyway, will a player propose?
No.
I say yes.
No.
This is clout chasing generation on display here, and I think there are plenty of young. I mean, I could see Pat Mahomes proposing after this game.
No.
On TikTok with his weird brother who dances.
You mean his weird girlfriend?
His weird girlfriend who's just
I mean,
obnoxious.
she's definitely like, let me be honest, like if she was anybody's girlfriend, like you'd want her in your corner.
Yeah, I mean, like I would
she's
love
crazy.
to have, but no, see, like I wouldn't like that to have that much cheering for me on football.
I'd be okay with
football
it.
games. I would be like, let's just relax, okay? Like I'm not even that excited.
She's excited though. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's good to support. It's nice to have the support. The brother needs to cool it with. Have you seen his brothers dancing?
I haven't.
It is
We
very
can discuss that at a
uncomfortable.
later
Okay.
date. Gatorade color.
Gatorade color. So the odds for this: yellow is the favorite at 275. Just the classic lime flavored. Water is second at plus 300. Tied with water is red, which is why I'm choosing red at plus 300. Both teams are red. I feel like this is just a match made in heaven. Blue is plus 400. Orange is plus 400, and purple plus 1,400. I've seen a lot of purple Gatorade showers in my day, but none on the Super Bowl that I can recall, even with the Baltimore Ravens. I think red is great. I would kill to be friends with one of the equipment managers for one of these teams because I would cook the books on this so much.
I am going to go with orange.
Orange, you glad you got high value. All right, and so our last prop, and this is an open-ended one. John, I want your Super Bowl MVP value bet, which means I don't want you to pick a favorite. So we'll exclude Pat Mahomes, Garoppolo, Mozart, Damian Williams, and George Kittle. Those are the top 5 favorites to win the Super Bowl MVP this year. So everyone else is plus 2,000 or better odds. Would you like me to give you my pick first, or would you like to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
And this is a preview for Friday's show. I think this Super Bowl is going to have a defensive MVP. I'm going to go with Nick Bosa for plus 1,600.
Okay.
And if I had to give an emergency one, if I had to give a super value pick, Tevin Coleman at plus 6,000. Everyone's giving this Mozart guy a ton of credit because, and rightfully so, he played an incredible game in the NFC Championship, running all over Green Bay. But Tevin Coleman is also a good running back, and the 49ers are a system that runs the ball. It's not like a Derrick Henry kind of offense where it's one back running everyone over. Anyone can have a day like Mozart had in the NFC Championship. I think Tevin Coleman at plus 6,000 is just an incredibly big value pick.
I'm definitely torn by possible MVPs. I'm going to say let's say like the Chiefs were to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think
if the Chiefs win, it's Mahomes. Let's be real.
But I'm saying like, let's say like something weird
A value
happens.
pick, yeah.
Yeah, like a value pick. I would probably say, gosh, that's really tough.
Tyrann Mathieu, maybe.
That's who I was kind of thinking. But I also am intrigued by Travis Kelce because like he could have a huge game and get an MVP. I mean, if that's the case, it goes
then it's
to
going to be
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Yeah.
I'm going to say my value pick at plus 8,000 is Richard Sherman.
That's a good pick. I flirted with that idea.
I think just because like it's been a while since he's been here and it's kind of perfect for it this year.
And he's played well in every Super Bowl that he's participated in.
He has. So,
pretty much every big game.
Plus, he could shut up a lot of people on like some of the doubters of him that still exist, which I don't know why they do, but
him versus Tyreek Hill will be fun.
I could see him even going up against
Kelsey with his size.
Yeah, because you're going to need somebody physical, and if you take Kelsey out of the game, that's Mahomes' safety blanket.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just kind of that, like, then it's just going to be more for Watkins and Hill and
But we can talk
else.
about that.
That'll be on Friday. So on Friday, we will give you a full Super Bowl breakdown. It's going to be very exciting. It's the big game that we are saying the name of because we ain't scared of nobody. It's the Super Bowl. We'll have our picks, our predictions, and everything coming up on our next episode of Lunchtime. I'm Noah Hiles.
I'm John Bozeka. Talk to you Friday.
We'll see you then.